Dudes, what's up? TVO Kane headquarters here. At my desk at home, doing a recap, week 7. I'm not going to make this too long. You guys probably see my, this is my little home office for Father's Day. My wife and kids surprised me. A couple pictures up here. Just gave me this banner that says Hero. I can get a good shot at it. They gave me these pictures. One with each of my kids. Son at a track meet right there. I guess my wife caught me talking to him. This is my daughter at track practice. She almost passed out and she wasn't feeling good, but that's one of the best practices she had. And I carried her actually from the field to the car, and my wife caught a picture of that. And then my youngest here, over here, Dad, me and her with the dad pose. So I love this little corner of my office or my house because it reminds me, and every time I look up, I see the kids, and kids bring joy. So really quick, I try not to make this too long, but there are 8 of the 12 teams in our league that either have a 3-4 or 4-3 record. That's 2/3 of the league that are either 4-3 or 3-4. That just tells you how close we are, about halfway into the season. There's really a gridlock in the Antioch division between Fed, Mama Messina, and Big Crybaby Anton. You guys are tied. Man, all 3 teams are 4-3 in that division. There's actually in Babylon a good race. I mean, I'm 3-4, Bobby's 3-4, but I think we have decent teams. Bummed by a few injuries on mine, obviously with David Johnson. Rob has a really strong team. He's doing good, leading the pack. Road Runners, I think that's the biggest, that division has the biggest gap from the first and last place team. So he seems to be clear runaway with Gabe monopolizing the league and that division. But real quick, going to the scoreboard, I'm not going to go and dive into each of the matchups. I'll start off with mine and Gabe. Gabe did a great job. I thought it was pretty close until Dak and Zeke came to play. And they ran all over the 49ers. I mean, 70 points between 2 guys. I mean, it's going to be hard for anybody to win. I mean, everybody else on my team pretty much, besides Baldwin. Baldwin and Breeze did decent, but everybody else pretty much played like bums. Jimmy Graham did decent. Gabe, outside of Dak and Zeke, who scored about half his points, everybody else was pretty okay. But, I mean, they definitely were the clear advantage for him in this game. So he gave me a stomping, as Rob predicted in his preview. Let's jump over to Lions of Judah and B-Morph. Photo Philly, man. Where you at, man? Love to see or hear from you. You actually pulled this one out, man. Ingram had a really good game. Jacksonville D, oh my goodness, who would have expected? I've been raving about their defense to one of my friends the last maybe 3 or 4 years because they've been stockpiling a lot of young talent, especially from the Florida schools. If you look on their roster, they got a lot of Florida school guys on their defense, but they've been primed for this point, and they're actually showing why they probably are the best defense in the league right now. So who would have thunk it? I think Blake Bortles on offense, although he struggled the first couple of games, I think he's going to have a tremendous second half of the year. So, but just because of that defense and what they afford him to do. But obviously that was your deciding factor here for Philly was the Jacksonville defense. 44 points, man, that's crazy. They got you about a third of the scoring. Josh Reed did pretty decent for Fed, but again, you win some, you lose some. Let's jump over to Big Crybaby, double daughter daddy in the Watchmen, Papa Conroy. I want to say I was watching this game, and that one was pretty tight for a while too. And that came down to Monday night with the Eagles, Aguilar, and the kicker, Elliott. They actually won it for double daughter daddy. 26 or so points between them. That gave them the victory in that game, but it was tight before then. Vinatieri with a goose egg. Who would have thought that? He's a clutch kicker. Came through and has come through in Super Bowls. And put up a goose egg. I mean, Indy's offenses look pathetic at this point, man. They need Andrew Luck. Le'Veon Bell, I mean, he looked good for you, Papa Conroy, but not enough, man. You had some decent performances, but no real standouts. And Double Dog Daddy did what he had to do when Monday night mattered. This is probably the lowest scoring game of the week. Spiritual Mafia and BCU. Spiritual Mafia won by the hair on his chin. Did you see that catch by Julio Jones, by the way? He snatched the ball out of Jimmy Butler's hands and slung him on the ground. That was amazing. I love me some Julio Jones, man. He's just a great receiver, humble guy, doesn't talk a lot of trash, just goes out there and works. But he put up 25 points for you, Spiritual Mafia, and you have, and that was about a quarter of your points, and that probably was the difference. Zach, you guys stunk it up, man. Landry had a decent game. Ertz, he's been connecting with Wentz, and he looks good. But, I mean, Antonio Brown did decent. But really no points from your quarterback, 2 running backs, and a receiver, and the kicker. You might have maybe 10, 11 points out of 6 people, man. So that really was a detriment to you losing. Although Spiritual Mafia didn't do much better. You know, he had, again, the standout Julio Jones. Everybody else was pretty much average, but it was enough to win. You only got to win by, a 100th of a point, or a 10th of a point, I should say. And he won by about 2 or 3 points. So, really close game. But a win is a win. Big Reg against Perfectville Fins. Rob, I think you only got 2 losses on the year, I think, when I looked at the standings. So you're still in pretty good shape, man. Reg had a really good outing from Hill and Dez Bryant. 34 points from the Rams defense. The Rams, man. Who would have thunk, man? Them in Jacksonville, I think, are 2 of the better teams, the younger teams that a lot of people don't really pay attention to, but will garner more attention as time passes. And Rob, you had some good scoring from Mike Evans, Gurley, your usual suspects. They did their job. A few guys didn't do so much. Adams, I mean, Green Bay is going to be a mess until Aaron Rodgers returns. Who knows who's going to score and do well for that team. Pittsburgh defense actually looking pretty good. And Rob, man, you had Derek Carr and Aaron Jones on the bench, man. That was some quality points left on the bench. Quality pine points, man. But again, you're 5-2. You're sitting good. I think you'll be all right. Last game of the week, we got Mr. Bobby. Bobby, great video by the way last time. And we got the I don't even know this name. Tanya Harding and Tyrod equal playoffs. Playoffs? Are you kidding me? Playoffs? Yeah, they equal 99.8 points in the loss. That's what they equal. But it's tough, man. I mean, you had some horrible performances on your team, Ryan. Ride Dog. Bad performances, man, for some key players, man. But Bobby did enough, man. Alex Smith looks great in Kansas City, man. I think he's on a contract year or coming up on a contract year. So he's playing, man, and he's going to make some big money next year. Playing his heart out, man. McCoy, I think he scored his first touchdown of the year, if I heard that correct. I think he scored twice. Yep, he scored twice. Everybody else was pretty decent. Kamara, I think, was a great pickup, man. He's the back in New Orleans to have. I mean, with him and Ingram, that 1-2 punch, man, it's actually hurting my guy Drew Brees, man. He's not passing as much, but he's, they're getting their yards on the ground. So, but even with the -5 from your kicker, Matt Bryant, missed 2 field goals actually. You still pulled out a almost 30-point win against Ride Dog. So great games this week, guys. Again, we're about halfway through the year. I'm happy to see the videos and stuff. I don't think we've had we had this much participation at this point of the year last year, if I'm correct. But it's good to see everybody's face. Everybody contributes. Everybody working the waiver wires, that's the key, man. Like I've been losing. I've been trying to make some pickups on the waiver wire. Obviously, with my number one pick being out for the year, or at least through week 8 or 9 or whatever, he's out till. That kind of set me back a bit. So, which we all have to deal with injuries at some point. But keep it up, man. We got a lot of bye weeks coming up. A lot of teams on byes, I should say. I think over the next 2 or 3 weeks. So I don't know why the NFL scheduled it that way, but we got quite a few teams on byes this week and next week. So it'll be popping, on and popping like pork bacon on the waiver wire. So keep your radars up. Make sure you target your players, guys. Choose wisely. We only got 3 bench spots, so choose wisely. This is Aaron T.V.O. Canes, and I am out.